Tomorrow, on Sunday, the 7th of September, the Vatican will canonise two extraordinary figures, Carlo Acutis, the London-born teenager dubbed God's influencer, and Pier Giorgio Frassati, the man of the Beatitudes from early 20th century Turin. It's an unprecedented moment, the first canonisation of a millennial, placed deliberately alongside one of the most beloved young laymen of modern Catholicism. Carlo's story is already legendary. At 15, dying of leukemia, he said with luminous serenity, "I'm happy because I've not wasted my time." He predicted his death and offered it up for the church. He left behind not just a grieving family, but a spiritual legacy housed remarkably in code. Carlo catalogued Eucharistic miracles online, and his motto, "Everyone is born original, but many die as photocopies," has become a rallying cry for authenticity in a generation obsessed with self-expression. Frassati, who died in 1924, aged 24, he offers a different model, a robust athletic masculinity rooted in service. He scaled mountains, fought fascism, and descended into the mines of Turin to work with and for labourers. He too died young of polio, caught from serving the poor. His funeral shocked his wealthy family. Thousands of beggars and workers lined the street. The Beatitudes of Christ had found flesh in him. Placed together, Carlo and Frassati form a catechesis on youth. Holiness can be playful, modern and digital, or rugged, active and social. In both cases, it is deeply Eucharistic, centred on prayer and service. And the relevance today is sharp. In our culture prizes millennial and Gen Z self-expression, but often without transcendence. The Church proposes instead a holiness that takes youthful energy seriously, not as a phase to be tolerated, but as a vocation to be sought. Purity, masculinity, authenticity, these are reclaimed not as repression, but as joyful self-gift. And here lies a striking development. LGBTQ Catholic groups, often marginalised, have found in these young saints unexpected companions. Carlo's defiant originality, his jeans and trainers, his refusal to be a photocopy, this resonates with queer Catholics striving for authenticity of their own. Frassati's affectionate male friendships, his independence from family expectations, his courage in being different, these too have been read as signs of hope. Even Dominic Savio, Don Bosco's child saint of purity, is sometimes reinterpreted not as a repressive model, but as a boy who took God with deep sincerity. None of these saints, of course, had gay stories in life, but their afterlife shows how holiness speaks beyond boundaries, and their cults remind us that sanctity is not a straitjacket, but an horizon. God's call to be original, truthful, and free. So when Pope Leo canonizes Acutis and Frassati, it will not only be the raising of two figures to the altars, it will be a challenge to the young, to a generation raised on Instagram, identity and expression, to hear that happiness lies not in wasting time, not in copying others, but in giving life, however short, entirely to God. This canonization is not nostalgia, it's a bold declaration that sanctity in the 21st century can wear hiking boots, trainers, or even hold a laptop. And in that witness, the Church says something urgently needed. The adventure of youth is not self-expression alone, but self-transcendence towards Christ, towards others, towards the heights, towards perfection. We're not called upon to be as good as possible. We're called upon to be perfect.